welcome back. We have Chelle Hartzer from 360 Pest Consulting again today. How are you doing, Chelle?
I'm doing just great. It's Friday.
Okay, Friday. How many glasses of wine are you into now?
We don't talk about that. What's in the mug stays in the mug.
Yeah, no, I like some of your posts there. You have a lot of good jokes and content on LinkedIn and social media. It's
Yeah.
pretty good stuff. So we're talking today because we have the November 15th Upstate Conference in Syracuse coming up, and you're going to be a presenter there. I know you're talking about rodents, and we talked about that before, but you're also going to be doing a presentation on safety. What can we expect from this?
Hopefully some safety stuff.
Oh, cool.
No, I like doing these presentations. I'm excited about this. I know I'm a super geek. But I always like to take what we do and sometimes relate it to something else, and have that comparison. And so I don't want to give away too much, but we're going to talk about a huge safety issue that happened not in our field and show how that happened, show what the results were, and how that relates to what we do in pest control.
Oh, wow, that's neat. So it's a little different angle and approach.
I hope so, because
yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, pest control, our safety stuff hasn't changed very recently. We haven't seen any major changes. So, let's put a different twist on it. Let's have a little fun and still give all that information, but, a little different way.
Sure. So it's probably not going to include like, hey, you should wear gloves. Like those are kind of table stakes, right?
It'll be in there in some form, but it's not
Sure.
going to be that, here's your PowerPoint presentation. Here's your bullet points. We'll try and make it a little bit more interactive.
Sure. Now, do you find that safety is an area that has a lot of attention from like smaller businesses, or is it something that kind of lags behind? Is it an afterthought?
I think it's right in the middle. I think most of our smaller, medium companies know the value of what we do and the value of being safe, because if you're a manager, or if even, you're that technician manager out in the field, if you get hurt, if something happens to you, that's your business. You're out. So I think there's a nice amount of safety that people are they're trying to keep in the front of their minds. So yeah, I've been impressed.
Yeah, it's funny. Over the years, I've seen sort of a differential based on age with use of PPE. So, and honestly, it's inverse of what you'd think. So, like I'm the old timer, right? And I'll have the knee pads and the gloves and the face shield and this and that, whatever. And the younger guys are coming in and like no knee pads, or they're just kneeling down on tile and all these things. And I'm like, oh my God,
they're indestructible at that age.
Right. That's right. And I mean, there was a time, I started doing this at 18, and I'd be, up in a crawl space, no respirator, using dust. You're like, you can't be stopped right at that age, but you learn over time that that's maybe not the best.
Yeah, and repetition is retention. So the more times you hear it, the more times you start to remember it.
Yeah, sure. Now, I know every label has recommendations for PPE. Is that bare minimum enough, or do you think there's times where you should be going beyond what just the bare minimum on the label says?
The label is there for our protection. So it's not necessarily the bare minimum. It's what's going to keep you safe 90% of the time. That last 10% is situational. So you have to make up that decision in your own mind of, where am I? What's going on? What are the conditions? And do I feel I need something else to keep me safe? And, you always err on the side of caution. So no one's going to laugh at you if you put on an extra set of gloves just because you feel like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had those situations. The label says doesn't call for a respirator, but you find yourself with a head underneath a kitchen cabinet with a material, and you go, you know what? I think a respirator is called for here.
Give me a minute.
Yeah. I will say too, some of the apartments we go into, a respirator is necessary whether you're using anything or not. So there's,
like I said, it's situational, and use your judgment.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So if people wanted to get a hold of you, how about should they go about that?
Sure. The easiest way is chellehartzer.com. You can schedule a free meeting with me there. My email's there, my phone number. I'm active on LinkedIn and Facebook. So I'm really not too hard to find if you Google Chelle Hartzer.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you on November 15th.
Awesome. Thanks, folks.
All right. Thanks, Chelle.